What's up, everybody? It's Honore, also known as X-Rated. I'm here with Thizzler. Subscribe below. On May 17th, 1999, they filed a Son of Sam lawsuit against me, O.J. Simpson, Charles Manson, the three of us, saying that it's not legal to benefit from your crime commercially. And the three of us defeated that law. So now anybody that want to write a book that's incarcerated or make an album can no longer be sued by the state because the three of us were able to beat that law. And that's another thing that people don't know. And I was in the dungeon. I had a cat come to the door. Hey, are you inmate Brown? Yes, sir. And they slide me an envelope and run down the stairs. And, you've been served. I opened that motherfucker, and it's the Attorney General versus Honore Vashon Brown. And wasn't no motherfucking X-rated on that paper either. That shit said X-rated on the album on Unforgiven, but that motherfucking paper they gave me said Honore Vashon Brown and Bill Lockyer versus Honore Vashon Brown, and that's a real case in LexisNexis. And so 2001, the law was defeated, and interestingly enough, it had a lot to do with Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. Axl gave Charles Manson some money for some songs that Manson had wrote back in the day. And the state tried to take the money. And Axl says, this is a gift. I gave him $100,000, that's a gift. Now, your gift might be $100, $200, $300, $1,000. My gift is $100,000 for Charles Manson. Because it was a gift, the state wasn't able to take that money. That educated those of us who have been paying attention. The same way Metallica's fight and U2's fight educated a lot of us in the business how to get our money. ASCAP, Sound Exchange, digital royalties, how to monetize your YouTube, And again, motherfuckers from the Bay Area, you know what I mean? Making sure that the rest of the goddamn culture get to eat, but don't nobody salute us for it. So Metallica's fight allows me to have a living right now, just like Axl Rose's fight, Charles Manson's fight, O.J. Simpson's fight for that If I Did It book, and my fight for Unforgiven is the reason why other people in the pen get to write a book right now. And so the one downside is they put these beeps on the phones because I made albums on the phones. So while we eliminated the Son of Sam, they put the beeps on the phone to try and eliminate for people to be able to record their albums. But that was a great question. May 17th, 1999, they filed a Son of Sam lawsuit on me. And 2001, it was dismissed, and we beat it. Charles Manson, Axl Rose, myself, and O.J. Simpson. And yet again, I make hip-hop history. It ain't about mysteries no more, other than what's gonna harm a human being. But, that wasn't true. Personally, I responded the way we taught to respond, so I took a gun apart, threw that thing in the waters because I wasn't sure at the time. And so they never found a weapon in my case from the killer or from the accused. They never located a weapon, so they just used the album cover to say this is the type of gun that was used to kill this victim. And so without a knowledge of if that was true or not, because they had no forensics to justify the truth of that. So yet again, the justice system dealing with a juvenile utilizing disingenuous means in order to gain a conviction, because I'm worth $68,400 a year if they put me in prison, just like you are. And so, if you can get 20 years out of a motherfucker, that's almost $2 million that the government could pay itself. And if you multiply that by $150,000, that's a decent budget. And it's also a budget that's superior to the educational system. I've been dealing with this with a lot of people, and I've been referring them like we today had to refer a dude to anger management classes because he had the wherewithal to ask me like, man, I see you attending classes, what should I do? And I had one of my people had to sit on the phone and actually tell his brother, this is what you have to do, and then find places in his region where he could go to meetings to be able to help him. The one thing that I've been telling people that I think is true and that I had to do is you gotta accept the reality of your circumstances. Whatever that means. Like, would you prefer to take the pill and go to a restaurant in your dreams and live a nice life, or take the pill and wake up and be in the matrix and the machines are trying to kill you. It's your choice. To me, I gotta wake up and accept the reality of my circumstances, because the first step of succeeding and improvement is acceptance of present circumstances. If I don't accept where I'm at, I'm never gonna get where I wanna go. I gotta say, this is where I'm at. What do I need to do? What do I wanna do? What do I have to do? And then separate those things and address them in the order of the priorities necessary. And so that's what I've been encouraging people to do, because I could see unequivocally, if I had not had my support system when I came home from prison, I was gonna be a failure. I was gonna fail because the mechanism in place there was so much resistance. For somebody with a life as beautiful as mine, there was so many different mechanisms in place to make sure that I failed, whether that would have been relapse on drugs and alcohol, whether that would have been relapse on anger and mistreatment of human beings, emotional relapse, or that would have been a violence relapse. Everything I needed in order to have those failures was present. You know what I mean? I walk into a transitional house and the nigga snorting the line over here like, you want to get high? And I'm like, I'm cool, bro. But I own a house in a gated community. I own a home in a gated community, but you would rather trap me where I'm 5 feet from a motherfucker snorting methamphetamines, right? And you don't have the right to go tell on this nigga. That ain't gangster. So I gotta have the discipline not to participate, and have the discipline not to defend myself in a way that would allow me to be subject to criticism for being somebody who pointed that out. How do I navigate that experience? And how do I make sure that my brothers can do the same thing? So it's gonna be discipline necessary. You gotta have the discipline and the knowledge that you will be exposed to things that are triggers. If you don't have the discipline to deal with it, it's all bad. Because if you tell, you through. And if you participate, you through. So the only choice you got is the discipline to be able to survive that experience until you can change your circumstances. What do I have to do? If I stay here, I'm gonna fall into that trap. I have to remove myself from this environment. That requires APO. I need to be in another environment. Why? Because I need to be in another environment. And then locate those environments. Go do that work on your own. So people have to be prepared for the fact that they're gonna have to do the work for themselves. The system is not designed to do the work for them. Although the mechanisms are in place for them that if they did the work, for them to receive the benefit of the system, if they don't go do it, they won't receive that benefit, period. There ain't no scouts like they got for football or baseball or basketball coming to find you. You the one that's gonna do well. They don't got that. They don't got that. So you gotta be looking for the scouts, and they exist, and they look like us. And they like us, they give a fuck. But if you ain't standing out, you just blending, you just a noise in the crowd screaming, help me, and that the rest of the crowd is screaming, fuck you, and your help me is lost in them fuck yous to the system. But they are looking for you. And if you show up, they're willing to help, and they almost inspired by your existence because you justify their education, their life's mission. I've had people who work for CDCR cry when they looked at my life, like, what the fuck? I've been waiting for you. They didn't know it was me, but they were waiting for me. Somebody who could be defended and invested in, and they don't gotta worry that I'm gonna get pulled over in a car high because I got some dope. I'm on some Molly. I'm got some coke. I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna hurt somebody. There's somebody they can invest in, and so I've validated a lot of people's lives. And I would encourage my brothers following me home and those who beat me home and are trying to succeed to validate these people's life missions. You don't go to school for 7-8 years so you can meet a person striving and say, fuck you. These forensic psychologists are some of our best friends we gonna meet because you don't educate yourself at that level. They don't make the money equal to the education, and the debt is probably worse than the outcome of going to get the education and putting them in debt for how many years? $280,000 in debt because you got a college education? Who the fuck is Occupy Wall Street? Bunch of college kids who couldn't get a fucking job because of nepotism rules the job market. So these people exist and are happy to meet us because we justify their life mission. And so I would encourage people to embrace that concept. Find and have the willingness to share with the social workers, with the forensic psychologists, with the correctional counselors, because those are the people that are gonna help when they will. But they gotta believe we exist. Because the worst thing for them is they helped you and you fucked somebody up. You came home and snatched somebody's kid. Came home and knocked the motherfucker's head off. And then everybody has political ramifications from that. You help this person get home, and look what they did. So they're terrified and encouraged simultaneously. And we got to be able to have empathy for that and say, I'm not going to let you down. I go back to what I said for y'all, the support y'all gave me, I'm not going to let you down. That kind of hyper insight and awareness provides that. The investment y'all made in me and saying we fuck with him. I can't invalidate that with some stupidity, bro. I'm not going to do it. And I can't invalidate that with whack-ass art either. There's a lot of things I wish I could go back. I would like to have been able to go back and change. I could have been a better son. I could have been a better brother and an uncle and a father. Could have been a better husband. And if I hadn't gone through that experience, I probably would be dead. And that's the truth, because I was behaving in a way that was going to force me to be killed. I thought it was perfectly fine to run up on a pack of enemies and ask what's happening. I thought that was, well within reason. What's happening? I thought that was natural. Pack a pistol and get out. I was going to get killed by the cops. I was going to get killed by a rival. And I probably would have been killed by my own homeboys because I was behaving in a way that was causing pressure on them. And that's the type of shit they eliminate you for. And so I came to understand that I was causing drama that was gonna make my own big homeboys feel like if I was gone, they would have a better experience than if I exist. And then once I came of age in prison, and I had to start making the decisions like, do I want this fool on this yard right here? He causing conflict with the white supremacists. He causing conflict with the Southsiders. He causing conflicts with the Northerners. Causing conflicts with the Bay. Causing conflicts with the Crips from down south. Causing conflict with the Bloods from down south. Hey, bro, in the morning, knock this nigga down. I had to make them decisions too. And so I realized, okay, that's what was gonna happen to me. That's what was gonna happen to me. And it probably should have, that's what I would have encouraged that happen in that culture and in that psychology if I had lived. And so I was gonna die as a result of my own behavior because I thought it was gangster to actually be a gremlin. You a mogwai, and then you get some water poured on you, or you eat after midnight, and now you stripe in the movie theater trying to fuck something up. You know what I mean? And so I was a gremlin gang member. I thought it was perfectly natural to hop out at an intersection and pull a gun out on people and do stuff like that. And so I really was a threat to society, and I'm not proud of that. I look back on that with empathy for myself and say I was miseducated by a series of events. So if I could change anything, I would focus on my education. I would have listened to my football coach more and put a premium on athletics. I would have had more respect for my teachers, because those are the people who really have the ability to assist you, because they're like those correctional counselors. They're the ones would love to find you and are terrified that they're helping the wrong one. They trapped in the middle, just like those correctional counselors and forensic psychologists are. Are you really who I think you are? Can I invest in you? I got a person I could call that could change your life, but do I do it? I built 20 years in this relationship. Do I fuck that off over you? And so I'm looking back on that and having empathy for people who helped me and accepting that responsibility. But that's my answer right there. It would be, I would have paid more attention to my teachers and my coaches. I would have been less of a menace. I would have had more respect for the social contract. I ain't walking in the store and there's some keys in the car. I didn't have the discipline to not take that car. You know what I mean? I'm the one that would have took the car and had a car. It didn't have nothing to do with the need. It was just oh shit. I didn't have no respect for boundaries. I was fucked up in the head mentally, bro. And I'm not alone in that. There's people who, you got a car and you got everything you need. It's like the stereo, take the whole car with the baby in the back seat and be on TV in a high speed, throw the car seat on the curb like we exist, gremlins. And so I would definitely not want to be that dude, man. If I could go back, I would want to correct some stuff that led to that particular psychology, and that would be a stronger relationship with the mom, the teachers, the coaches, community services, the mosque, the church, to actually understand that I don't got to pick a dogma to be able to be supported by my community. Just be supported by, I got a Buddhist monk, a Shaolin monk, I got a Muslim imam, I got a Christian pastor coming to my house. Fuck with everybody because they all got something to teach me. I'm willing to learn. And so now I wish I had done that when I was younger, and I would encourage people to start early, man, because the time don't come back. It's relentless. Time is relentless. Them 26 years don't give a fuck about me. They gone. Fuck what you doing. They didn't give the 26 years to give a fuck if I fell on my face when I get out. It just gave me 26 more. Life don't give a fuck about you. If you don't plan for life, life gonna plan for you, and it's a ruthless administrator. Ruthless. Life don't give a fuck. Dinosaurs, nigga, dodo birds, it'll wipe your bitch ass off the face of the earth and keep it moving. Life is ruthless, so plan for life, because if life planned for you, it's gonna be ugly. And now that I know that, I would like other people to know it too.